Hey, it's me again, your favorite sophomore honors geometry teacher on the ones and twos. Let me just save this. All right, so I will add to this the answers to the homework, but for now, let's get to it. We're going to talk about arcs and chords today. Doesn't that sound fun? Move my keyboard, get organized, settled, etc. I'll stay charging. That's fine. All right. So here we go. This is a nice soothing color. Can I have a different? Great. Okay. So central angles and arc measure. So a central angle is an angle with its vertex at the center of the circle, and then two sides that are radii. The sum of all central angles in a circle is 360 degrees. So we can say angle ABC is a central angle. The degree of the arc formed by the endpoints of a central angle is equal to the degree of the central angle. So I can say the measure of angle ABC equals the measure of, this is less than 180 degrees, so this is a minor arc, so I'd say the measure of arc AC. The reason I'm saying that the measures are equal is because I know that they're both 84 degrees. So if this angle is 84 degrees, it means that this arc is 84 degrees. I don't know why my voice is so raspy, but here we go. That was a weird color. Let's change it. Something a little more bold. Here we go. So if I need to measure, these are all arcs. So I have to know what the central angle is first. So the measure of arc CD, that is a right angle, so I know that that is 90 degrees. FD, if that's 90 degrees, this is a diameter. This is also 90. So FD would be 34 plus 90, which is 124. Don't judge me. Yeah, 124. Just didn't want to make a mistake, okay. Measure of arc DCF. DCF. So I'll erase what we had done already. DCF. So that's DCF. 90, 90, and then this is going to be 90 minus 34, which would be 56. So 180 plus 56, 236. And then measure of arc GDF. GDF. What are we going with that? GDF. Okay, so if I know that this part was 56 degrees and the whole circle is 360, I can just do 360 minus 56, and I get 304. Some nicer handwriting, 04 degrees. All right, you try this one, and I'll catch up to you. So PQ here, these are vertical angles, so I know that that's going to be 19. And then 90 minus 19, I'm nervous with my mental math right now, 71. This will be 90 This will be 180 minus 19, which is 161. We can kind of do one part at a time from here. So measure of arc PQ would be 71 degrees. Measure of arc SR would be 161 degrees. Measure of arc QRT would be 19 plus 161 plus 19, 199. Measure of arc PSR, P, so it's from P to S to R. So that'll be 90 plus 19 plus 161, 270. Perhaps you can think of another way you could have done that. Looking at you, Spence. Always thinking of other creative ways. And then measure of arc PS. 90 plus 19. Again, using my calculator because I'm stressed. 109 degrees. Cool. So that's when the numerical. Use what we know about right angles, vertical angles, supplementary, blah, 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 blah. All right. Solve for x from these next two. So this will involve a little bit of prior knowledge and algebra. So when I'm looking at this, I have the measure of RS and I have the measure of ST. And when I add those together, since that's a semicircle, because RT is a diameter, I just add them in, so it's equal to 180. So 15x minus 26 plus 26 equals 180. Minus 26 plus 26, additive inverses. So 15x equals 180. X equals 12. Yeah. X equals 12. Cool for us. All right. Here, looking at this. Okay, so when I see this, I notice I have a diameter, EG or HF, but I don't know the measure of arc EF or of arc HG. So I can't use the 180 idea, but I do notice that EF and HG are vertical angles. So that means that FG and EH, the whole thing, are also vertical angles. So vertical angles are congruent. So 103, my smartboard writing was bad. 103 equals 18x minus 2 plus 15. Then I can just solve from there. So 5. Yeah, it's 5. Cool. Yeah. From there, I would be able to solve for arc HG, the measure of arc HG, if I needed to, but I don't need to, so I won't. Somewhere here where we would have to solve for all of that. So here I go. Like these are congruent, so something equal to each other. Could have sworn I changed the color, but I don't know. So 2x at 22, that's going to be 34. So x equals 17. So now I want the measure of arc AD. So I just put that back in. 8 times 17 plus 12. 148. So it's 148 degrees. Now I want the measure of arc CD. So I just found AD. Now I need CD. And since AC is a diameter, that's 180 degrees. So just do 180 minus 148 and get 32. Measure of angle BDC. So that's BDC. So it's going to be the whole thing except for BC. So you just do 360 minus 148. You get 212. 212. Of New York City. Can't go with that. All right, anyway. Cool. More like this. Just one thing about how you set it up. What we know, what we need to know. All right, since JL is a diameter, that's shows my mistakes. Since JL is a diameter, I know that the measure of arc JKL is 180 degrees. So I'll add these two expressions together and set them equal to 180. So I have 22x minus 8, that's 22x, minus 18 equals 180. 22x equals 198. X equals 9. Substitute it back in. 5 times 9 plus 23. 68 degrees. MJ, that'll be 180 minus 68. 112. Iconic R&B group. And then the measure of arc, let me know. Okay. So this is 112. I just do, why can't I write with this? 112. I just do 360 minus 112. I really hope you're listening, because it's hard to just read my handwriting, but if you hear me saying it, that's also helpful. Alright, last one of this type. Alright, a lot going on here. Doesn't look like we have any vertical angles, so I can't set anything equal to each other. But I have 1, 2, 3, all 4 parts. So I can add them all up and set it equal to 360 and solve for x that way. So 8x plus 21x minus 12 plus 10x plus 9. Don't forget an x plus 9. Don't forget the 90-degree angle there. Very important. Equals 360, equals the total. So now I'm going to add all of my coefficients up to get 39. 39x. So now I have 90 minus 12 plus 9, 87. Great year to be born. Equals 360. Now I'm just going to solve for x. So from that, we should get x equals 7. So let's just substitute that into all of these. So that'll be 79. I know what 8 times 7 is, right? Oh my god. I knew it. Okay, and then 21 times 7 minus 12, 135. 135. Alright, so we'll go from there. WX 135. Measure of arc WX. My apologies. Measure of arc YW from Y to W is 90 plus 56. So that's 136. Excuse me, YX 79 degrees. We found that already. And then the measure of major arc VXW. VXW. So that's everything except 56. So that should be 304. All right, so that's central angles. Way to go with that. Now we can look at congruent chords and arcs. So I have a nice diagram here. So two chords are congruent if and only if. So this is a definition by conditional statement. Their corresponding arcs are congruent. So AB, sorry, just stop there. So the measure of segment AB equals the measure of segment CD if and only if, it's little arrows both ways, measure of arc AB to B equals the measure of arc CD. And as long as they are equidistant from the center. So these two chords are congruent, AB and CD, if and only if they're equidistant from the center. So that's here. As long as EF equals EG. So additionally, if a diameter or radius is perpendicular to a chord like we see here, then it bisects the chord and its arc. So if segment EH is perpendicular to segment AB, I'm having a hard time with B here, then the measure of segment AF is congruent to the measure of segment FB, and their corresponding arcs are also congruent. Sorry, measure of arc AH is equal to the measure of arc HB. All right. So based on what we're given, we'll be able to determine what is congruent. So find X here. So I know that these arcs are congruent, so that means that these chords are congruent. So 18x minus 2 equals 52. So 18x equals 54. And I know that 54 divided by 18 is 3 off the top of my head, definitely not with a calculator. All right, find the measure of arc RS. So these chords are congruent, so their corresponding arcs are congruent. So 11x minus 72 equals 5x plus 6. So 6x equals 78. And I think x is 13. And it is. But that's not what the question's asking me. The question's asking me to find the measure of arc RS. So the measure of arc RS will be whatever the product of 11 and 13 is, minus 72, which is 71 degrees. So remember, these are degrees. Label them as such. All right, find x. This is fun. So if these chords are congruent, that means their corresponding arcs are congruent. But if I just set 6x minus 20 equal to 6x minus 20, I'm not going to get anywhere. So I wonder what that 76 is doing there. Neither xy nor zy is a diameter, so I can't add them and set equal to 180. But if that's xy, and that's arc yz, and that's arc zx, that's the whole circle. So I can add all of those up and set equal to 360. Here we go. I'm adding this in my head, like the scholar I am. So I just did 6x minus 20 twice. So I'll do 360 plus 40 minus 76. So 12x equals 324. X equals 27. That's why it's fun. Alright. Keeping it going. Find the measure of arc MP. Alright, so let's make sure we have enough information. Equidistant. The chord is equidistant from the center and perpendicular on both sides. Yep, so I know that these arcs are congruent. Now I want to find the measure of this part. So kind of similar to what we did in number 3. So I set them equal. 9x minus 43 equals 5x plus 33. So 4x equals 76. And x equals, oh my god, 19. Duh, I knew that. 80 divided by 4 is 20. Okay. Oh, premature boxing. 19, not the answer. Okay. My phone is ringing. That is strange. Hope everything's okay. It's a phone call. Okay, so now I'm going to find the measure of arc MP. So I'll find the measure of arc NP first by substituting that. So that's 128. That means this is 128. So if I do 128 times 2, that's 256. So the measure of arc NP is just 360 minus 256, which would be 104 degrees. That's the real answer. 27, 104, cool. All right, here we go. Last page of notes. So sad. I just want to do this all day. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . But we have other classes, other things to do. Too bad. All right, number 5. In circle Z, if the measure of segment RS is 18 and the measure of arc TY is 42, find each measure. All right, RS is 18. So TV, 9, half of it. TU, also 18, congruent. WS, 9, half. Cool. So that's what we know. The measure of arc YU, also 42 degrees, because those are bisected, therefore they're congruent. Measure of arc RS, 84 degrees. We just double them. No, that was a lot scarier than what I thought. Good for us. All right, same idea in circle I. If segment BG is 17 units, let's start there. BG is 17 units, so that's the half, the smaller part. Okay, so BC is going to be the whole thing, so that'll be 34. FB is also the half, so that'll be 17. Measure of arc, okay, back to our givens. The measure of arc CHA is 256. Okay. So I'm going to do 360 minus 256. We get 104. We split 104 in half to get 52. So each of those big arcs is 52 degrees. We split 52 in half to get 26. So it's for the smaller half arcs. Okay. So the measure of arc AB, that's the whole thing. So that'll be 52 degrees. Measure of arc BC, also the whole thing, 52. The measure of arc EC, that's half, so that's 26 degrees. Not too shabby. And again, that was fast. Pause it. Right, listen, re-listen. All right, now with some algebra. If the measure of segment QM, there it is, it equals 6x minus 11, the measure of segment MR equals 2x plus 9, find the measure of segment MN. So this is a whole big situation, just to set them equal to each other. And let's go from there. So 4x equals 20, therefore x equals 5. I'm going to find MN. So MR is 2 times 5 plus 9, which is 19. So that means this part is also 19. So MN should be 38. All right, last one, CI and EF is given. Okay, the relationship there, CI is half of EF. So if I do 2 times CI, that'll be equal to EF. Again, there's another way that you could set that up. Maybe you do 7x minus 15 equals half of 12x minus 8. That works, and it's easier to do maybe because those are even numbers. 14x minus 15 equals 12x minus 8. 2x equals... Okay. Oh, made a mistake. Where's my eraser? So that's like 30. Add 30 both sides, and then it's 22. Oh boy. X is 11. Great. I want to find the measure of arc CI. So that's this little part there. I'll just plug it in. Oh, great. Measure of arc CI is 7 times 11 minus 15. So that is going to be 62 degrees. All right. That was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed yourself. There's no paper homework for this assignment. It is a graded Google Form take-home quiz, 30 points. It'll be due Friday, and I'll be having another Google Meet Friday at 9 a.m. if you have questions that you want to go over with me. But otherwise, look forward to talking to you soon. Take care, be safe, have a good time.